All right, welcome to episode 3, RacPacShow. Here with my co-hosts Ryan, the sick boy, Chad, and our first guest ever, Nico, our buddy Nico, our Panthers expert. Um,
I
so
just want to say really quick, MJ played with the flu. I'm here with
that's
the
right,
COVID.
Ryan's flu game.
So this is my flu game right here. But
Okay.
let's kick into
Stay
it.
safe. Stay healthy.
Also, this will be up Thursday instead of Friday at noon. So we'll actually be able to discuss the Thursday night game before it happens. Okay. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, first matchup, Thursday night, we have the Niners are 3-point favorites at Tennessee. Over-unders at 44.5. The Niners are super hot lately, so it makes sense. And Titans, are so screwed up on injuries. I don't know though, man. If I had to bet that, it'd be hard not to take the Titans at home.
Yeah, it's a tough match.
For me, the Titans are I think we've said it before, but Titans are very you don't know about them, man. Now that they've Derrick Henry out, I don't know if AJ Brown, Julio Jones,
AJ Brown, I don't think is playing, but Julio's playing.
In my opinion, I think San Francisco is up there in defense, top 10 defense.
They're good,
so I
man.
think
that's why.
I have them actually when we talk about our power rankings. I had them pretty up in my power rankings. No, not up, but so I think I take I'm gonna take San Francisco's money line here. I think they I don't know. I think they're just overall a better team than Tennessee. Now this would be a different team if they had Derrick Henry
100%.
and 100%, but San Francisco's been playing hot lately, and Tennessee is they lost right to Steelers last week.
Yeah, and they gave it. Tannehill gave the game away. They were winning
it was a
by.
very low
They were
scoring
up 10-0, and they had a last-second drive that they could have scored and won, obviously. But I think Tannehill had picks, fumbles. I wasn't able to watch the noon games this past week, but yeah, dude, it's hard to bet on Tennessee right now, but man, I feel like I still would. I said it last week too. Is like last week with the Chargers Chiefs Thursday game. Normally I wouldn't bet it, but I like to bet the Thursday games. Of course, last week I bet the Chiefs spread. I said on here to bet the Chiefs spread, and then I got swayed to after just doing some research. I'm like, you know what? I switched last second, put it on the Chargers 3.5. Of course, got screwed over in overtime, but I might not bet any spreads in this game. I might just do some kind of same game parlay, like I usually do for the primetime games. But if I had to bet, I would take Tennessee +3 and probably the under 44.5.
Yeah, not a bad bet to be honest. You got two teams that are, I would say they're pretty equal, but I think, like I said, San Francisco has a better defense. So it is Thursday night, short week. If you look at it, you go Jimmy G versus Tannehill.
He's been playing super well too.
I take Jimmy G. They have a better offense right now. Debo Samuel has been unbelievable. I think Eli Mitchell is out, right?
He is out. Jeff Wilson did really good last week.
Yeah, not terrible. So
I feel it's funny. You look at the Niners the last 3 years. Any running back they have in there does good. It really doesn't matter who the hell they put in there. But
what do you think, Nico?
I think AJ Brown is playing, or they're supposed
is he playing?
I think they're supposed to take him off the IR.
Shit.
But yeah, I would take the 49ers money.
Dude, if AJ Brown is playing, if AJ Brown does play, both those receivers play, I kind of do like the Titans then.
I don't know. He's just made of glass.
Yeah. That's true.
Surprised if they just don't give him a full workload, obviously. And
Julio last week got one target, got hurt his hamstring like he always does, and was out for the whole game. So, but if they're both playing, Tennessee +3 I do like, just because the Niners secondary is not very good. We can move on. All right, now the Christmas Day games. So there's 2 games. First game, Cleveland Browns at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 7.5-point favorites.
This is kind of a no-brainer here, but
yes, sir. That's my lock.
Little preview.
3rd week in a row.
this is Doesn't matter who's in quarterback for the Browns. I think Green Bay is just Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you watched that game. Aaron Rodgers press conference with Aaron Andrews after the game. He just seemed like really hyped to play on Christmas Day. He was excited. So I think he's gonna go out and I think he's just gonna. It's gonna be a slaughter, in my opinion. I think it's just gonna be. It'd be a slaughter. So I'm taking the spread here, 7.5.
So I might shock some people here, I guess. If the Browns are healthy, COVID-wise and all that, like they get healthy again. I mean, the Browns are playing for their playoff lives here. So if the spread was 6.5, I'd take the Packers. But the fact that it's 7.5, they need to win by more than a touchdown. I feel like I'd bet the Browns. I probably won't bet it in general. I'd probably just do a same game parlay on this. But I'd probably take the Browns plus 7.5 if they get everyone back off COVID. Obviously, if they're throwing Nick Mullins out there again, hell no. But I think if they're healthy, which is a big if, I would take the 7.5. I don't think that's a horrible bet, but I see both sides because I thought the Packers were gonna. I'm like, okay, Lamar's probably not gonna play. I'm like, they'll kill him. They'll kill Baltimore. It was a last second, almost lost the game, and Huntley played really well. So that was kind of the first like, okay, Packers didn't kill someone. They actually had a tough one out, but I'd probably go Browns 7.5 personally.
I mean, plus 7.5. You mean
But
Browns?
that's the thing too, is the Christmas Day shit. Like people get motivated for stuff like that, so it's just like it's a tough thing to read. If it was like an average Sunday and this was 7.5, I'd 100% feel more comfortable with the Browns if they were healthy. But the Christmas Day thing does. With Rodgers, might he knows he's on prime time. He might want to put on a show, so you never know. But
Yeah, then first game back at home, and they just clinched right
that
too.
too,
So
yeah.
they're gonna want to put on a show for their fans, and continue
I
the
think they need to
steamroll.
I know that the Packers know that they need to like obviously keep winning because they haven't really if they want to get that home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs. I mean, Tampa Bay obviously they're a game behind, right? Because they lost.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's say Green Bay loses, Tampa Bay wins, but so obviously it's Green Bay's not going to lead off, take the gas, take the pedal, whatever fucking saying
Put off
is.
the
Pedal
brake.
off the gas or
Put off
brake,
the
Foot
yeah,
off the gas.
Same shit.
Foot off the gas.
something like that.
That's,
I quote
it is
Hey,
that.
fine.
Foot off the gas.
I got
Can we
COVID.
redo that, please?
Foot off the
COVID.
gas. I have COVID.
But yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I mean, both teams. I mean, we haven't talked about the Bucks yet, but Packers wise, I mean, those two teams have one of the easiest schedules remaining, so they're both gonna be obviously fighting for that number one seed.
Right.
Browns are second in the league for strength of schedule left,
think,
so
I
they're gonna be
think-
fighting pretty hard. But
I think if no matter what happens, Buccaneers wise, I think if the Packers win, I think I saw it this week. If the Packers win two out of their last three, they clinch first seed. I don't know. There's
Bucs do?
no, the Packers do.
No,
Packers win 2 out of 3, they clinch. I think they have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. I read it somewhere this week, but
Who's their last three opponents besides Cleveland?
Packers.
Mm.
That I'm not sure. I mean, I know they don't. I think they might be the Lions. I'm gonna double check real quick.
Browns, Vikings, Lions.
Browns, Vikings. Okay, yeah.
Well, Vikings did beat them last time, but obviously this is different.
And then
Wait, did
Buccaneers
the Vikings?
have.
Vikings didn't beat the Packers.
Yeah, they did. Didn't they?
No.
They didn't.
Vikings
thought
have
they
2
beat 'em.
wins. No, Vikings beat Minnesota, and Vikings. Are you talking about the Lions or the Vikings?
Oh, they did
Vikings.
lose to the Vikings, 34-31.
Okay, I was thinking of the Lions for some reason.
In
But
Minnesota, right?
yeah, it was like a
Field goal, yeah.
low key. Kirk Cousins got let off the hook though. He threw a fucking pick, and there was a penalty, and it got called back on that last drive. But yeah, I don't see them having a difficulty against choke Cousins, and then they're gonna steamroll the Lions as well, and they'll probably win. I mean, while I do think the Browns, if healthy, can cover, I don't think they'll win. So I mean, the Packers will easily. I think Packers got this 1 seed, which means once again everyone's gonna have to.
I think
go
the
to
line's going to
Lambeau.
move probably somewhere close to like minus 9.5, like by
Okay.
the time the game comes around.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Nico's shaking his head. I'm assuming you agree as well.
Well, I don't agree with Anthony's plus 7.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my island.
Anthony's like, well, I would take the 7.5, but I probably won't.
No, I always say if I had if I'm sitting here right now, right, and I'm forced to bet that spread right there, I'm betting the Browns plus 7.5. That's what I would bet, but I won't bet it.
Take the over, to be honest with you.
Over 40. I think I agree with that. Christmas Day, I agree.
I think Packers are probably somewhere in like the 30, 35 range for points. So yeah.
The Browns are just a mess, though. I don't know. They're just. I mean, Nick
Even
Chubb,
Yeah,
Baker's he's just a mess.
yeah.
I agree.
It is a tough team to bet on, which is
Baker's
why I'm not
doing-
going to bet the game.
Busy doing his commercials.
They are good commercials, though. All right. Next game is Colts. Oh, this line moved. Colts +1 at Arizona -1. So yesterday when I looked at this, I think the Colts were 1.5-point favorites, which tempted me to bet the Cardinals. But out the Colts are +1. I don't know. I think the Colts are better than the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's a
Cardinals just
tough
got
game,
stomped by the
especially
Lions.
with how they just played. So.
It's tough too because you're gonna have the Colts, right, who ended the Patriots win streak, so they're gonna be super hyped. Everyone's gonna think they're good. Everyone's gonna hype them up, and then you have the Cardinals who got killed by the Lions, so everyone's gonna be super down on them. I mean, teams have bad games. Any team, I mean, the saying, any given Sunday. I think the Cardinals are obviously better than what they put out there on Sunday, but I really do like the Colts as +1. Any kind of underdog, I like the Colts here on Christmas Day.
I see this. I agree with that. I see the Colts. Honestly, they probably win by field goal. In my opinion, I don't know why I see this as a a James Conner game. I don't know why. I just see this game. They're gonna feed him the ball. Well, in fantasy, if you have him, I'd start him. But I'm gonna go with the Colts here as well. Colts money line, I should say. I think they're a better team overall, and they're hungry. I think they're one of my teams to sneak into the wild card. So, obviously Arizona's coming off a loss, right? Yeah, against
the
Detroit.
Lions.
Yeah, which it kind of makes me nervous, but
Over-under's at 49 too, which is pretty high. The thing too is like everyone thinks that J.J. Watt is like a all-time pass rusher, but he was really good for run defense for the Cardinals this year before he went down. So, and of course I'm versing. Well, I have 2 leagues left. I have Jonathan Taylor in one. I'm versing him in the other. So, I think dude's gonna go off. Always does. Even last week when I was looking on like and Yahoo, they have the little like discussion thing where people can like talk about whatever player that is. Everyone was like, like shitting on Taylor, like saying thanks for nothing because like first week of playoffs, like he's sucking, and then boom, there he goes, like 67-yard touchdown, and shut everyone up. But I don't know. Jonathan Taylor, what's his he's got like some record pace, right? Like 11 straight games with a touchdown or something. So I mean, it's like a given. He's gonna score. He'll probably go off. I think like.
I think it's 7. I thought I saw something. I think it's 17 total touchdowns since October, and he's like beating like half the league total.
That's insane.
It'd be very interesting.
Something like that is crazy.
It would be very interesting if Derrick Henry never went down. See them two go at it and see who would come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Colts have a very underrated defense.
They have their defense is
Their
consistent,
defense is good.
very good.
And
their defense.
So I think it wouldn't surprise me if this was an under. I mean, especially if it's that high, 49.
Yeah, I could see an under too because the Colts are a running team, so they're gonna possess the ball. They're gonna want to keep the ball out of Kyler's hands, right? So I think a lot of running, a lot of like clock is gonna get run, which I think is good for the under as well. Even though it is a Christmas Day game, so you never know. Jonathan Taylor could have an Alvin Kamara game where Kamara had 6 TDs in Christmas last year, but
hopefully,
hopefully not, because then I'm done in fantasy in one league. But I'd probably win the other one, so I give and take. But I'm versing him in the more expensive league, so.
Hopefully Michael Pittman doesn't get ejected.
Ejected? Why would he get ejected?
Got ejected last week.
Oh, he got ejected last week? Yeah, I wasn't able to watch the game. All right, yeah, but I'm gonna say Colts +1 and the under 49. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I to be honest, and I think put a little bit on that Colts money line +100, double your money because I think they win.
Yeah, it was one of the ones I was looking at as the underdog. So
yeah, good one.
I think it's good value.
I think they cover. They definitely go under. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I mean, minus Taylor, but
I agree.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. All right, so that's it for the Christmas games. On to Sunday. So first game is Rams at Vikings. Rams minus 2.5. Vikings plus 2.5. For me, that's easy. I would take Rams minus 2.5. Here's the problem: is also just to preface, we get all our odds off of DraftKings Sportsbook. But the tough thing for me is like as much as I like, even how we talked about last game. Like I would love to take Colts plus 1 now because the line's already moved a little bit. So I'd love to take that now, and I would love to take the Rams one right now. But with COVID, man, it's just so difficult to bet any of these games early. That's why I think I'm just gonna wait till the day of, just so I know what I'm betting. Because I'm not trying to bet the Rams and then boom, Stafford's on the COVID protocol, and now I'm screwed. So,
Right.
but with that being said, I would take the Rams minus 2.5. Over/unders at 49.5. Seems kind of high. Especially for a Vikings team that put up 17 points against the hapless Bears on Monday Night Football. Even though, like...
Yeah, but they also did put up 34 against the Packers, so...
Yeah, that was a while ago, though. I don't know.
And then you have the Rams who put up, 20 against Seattle at home?
Yeah, that was more of a defensive game. I think they were still trying to figure stuff off offensively, but...
Bears. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, too, it's a noon game, so Kirk Cousins might actually have a head on his shoulders this time. Because, dude, that guy, anytime that guy's on national television, Jesus. But yeah, I like the Rams minus 2.5. To be honest, I like the under. Yeah, my opinion.
Definitely minus 2.5. I don't know about the over/under.
Cooper Kupp Cooper Kupp is gonna go
I
nuts.
just have like a gut feeling on the over.
Actually, dude, yeah, this spread is easy for me. I don't know, like the Rams just I feel like match up well with the Vikings. You have Aaron Donald, you have that defensive line to stop Dalvin Cook, and you have Jalen Ramsey to stop Jefferson. It just seems like a poor matchup for Minnesota. So, and I think on the other side, Cooper Kupp is going to do Cooper Kupp things. So, you can't stop the dude. Nobody can.
I also think that it'll be more of a passing game anyway because they'll probably shut down Dalvin Cook. I mean, Dalvin Cook I think he'll have a similar game against the Bears.
Yeah, and if they go down early, like they can't run the ball as much as they want to.
I know Thielen has been out the last 2 weeks, so I don't know if he'll be playing this week or not. But if he does, that's a game changer because you got 2 elite wide receivers now on that team that they have cover, whereas it was just Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's a stud alone, but 2 weapons now. I think they for a team like them, they got like such a great offense, like weapons, and they're just they play so bad for a team with that kind of offense, which is kind of disappointing. So, but I do like the Rams spread here, 2.5. But like Anthony said, I'm not betting this until the day of because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's me.
I think 2.5 is fair, minus 2.5. But I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna take the over just because I'm not a huge fan of Kirk not just this year, but I'm not a huge fan of Kirk really at all. But this year, he's actually been playing very well. I think he only has like 6 picks on the year, which is pretty good for.
Yeah, and it's not a primetime game, so.
Is Thielen back?
I think the Rams definitely win. Easy 2.5, but I think the over as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this going over as well. Minnesota's gonna have to keep up with LA. I think that's what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be a very pass heavy game for sure.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right. Next game is Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 10 at Nico's Carolina Panthers.
All right, non-biased opinion.
We can let him start.
You can go. Yeah, you go ahead and open up this one.
No, Sam Darnold is playing. He is taking.
He really?
Yeah.
I did see Cam Newton starting, but Darnold's playing.
Sam Darnold is taking snaps, which I don't understand Matt Rule. It really doesn't make any sense to me why he switches off with Cam and PJ Walker. I mean, I get the one day against Miami. That was bad, but I think 2 weeks ago, I think he sat Cam and they were still in the game, and it makes no sense. You're not going to get a quarterback to catch fire when you keep benching people, but especially somebody from the XFL. But that's just me. Cam Newton's quarterback will be.
To be honest, I like the Panthers plus 10 here. They're at home. You know, Tom Brady. Look, think about Tom Brady his last year in New England, right? Everyone thought he was cooked, like he was done. But it turns out, you give him the best weapons in the NFL, he's good. Well, now Mike Evans, I think is not, I don't think he plays this week. Godwin's done for the year. Fournette's done for the regular season at least, and then on the defensive side, Levante David is done for the regular season. He's huge. He's the captain of that defense. So I mean they signed Le'Veon Bell. They have Ronald Jones, but there's something about him, man. They just don't. He's like in that doghouse or something because they just don't like to use the guy. Even when even Fournette goes out in that game, and whoever the hell that was, Vaughn, was playing more than Ronald Jones. So I think it's a Brady thing. I think he's gonna pick who he wants out there. I think they do get AB back this week, but the thing that
Isn't
scares
decision
me.
supposed to be made for Brown?
I think so. Well, he was suspended for 3 games, and I think
he's back.
It's been 3 games, yeah, and he's
He's
back.
back.
Apparently, he looks good too. The thing that does scare me is Brady knows that getting shut out by my New Orleans Saints really hurt his MVP chances, and that I think that's something he cares about. So knowing who he's playing, he's going to see the Panthers again in 2 weeks, and he plays the Jets next week. So knowing that, I think he's going to try to just pad his stats really hard against these bad teams to try to get the MVP because I think he cares about stuff like that. So that scares me, but I mean, who's he throwing to? I mean, Gronk and AB, I guess, but that's it. So it's tough. Like I don't know. We haven't really seen Brady on Tampa Bay without his entourage of weapons, other than against the Saints. But the Saints it's hard to judge because he always struggles against the Saints ever since he got there.
Yeah,
Even
that's why
with his
it's kind
weapons.
of I'm kind of in like the same boat where it's -10, but like you said, he's got weapons out. He's got one coming back,
And on the road as well. And
Yeah, but I
think
mean, after getting shut out, I mean, he wants to have a statement game. He's fine for that first place seed too. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's up in the air. I think so.
I do really
It's
like
tough to judge.
I really do like the Panthers plus 10, and I think the Bucks are, I want to say 4-3 on the road this year, so like, average. So I do think the Buccaneers are gonna win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers win though. But I'll take them plus 10.
Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go with the Bucks spread here, and then I saw a stat here. Tom Brady is 50 and 14 after coming off a loss.
Yeah, I mean I think they're gonna win. But
You want to hear a crazy stat?
I do.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's 0-12 in the last 12 starts for the Panthers. He's going to be 1-12 after this week.
I like it. I like it.
I will pay you $50.
One of the few weeks I'll root for the Panthers.
Book it.
Book it.
Hey, I think it's gonna be the Gronk game. Like he's
gonna have like that Kelsey game like last week.
Here's the scary thing about Gronk.
200 yards.
Here's the scary thing
3
about
touchdowns.
Gronk is the Panthers secondary is not bad. It really is not bad. So, I think with Gronk, man, he's injury prone, and with all the injuries they have, he had a serious injury this year. He broke like how many ribs did that dude break? Punctured his lung. Like Jesus. Like to be honest, I think if their main goal is the championship, I almost would just sit the dude for the rest of the year, or just like play him a little here and there, like limited snaps. Just because if Gronk goes down, Brady's got no Fournette, no Gronk, no Godwin. Evans.
I don't
is
think
hurt.
Bell's playing. I think they're gonna sit.
I
Bell
doubt.
this
No,
week.
I doubt Bell will play. But I don't really think Bell's a difference. Play doesn't play. What'd you say?
See, but it's
Hold on. Nico cut out. What'd you say?
I said even if Bell plays, he's not going to do anything. It's going to be Ronald Jones.
Yeah, no, I agree with
the
that.
other
100%.
guy. Yeah, I don't know who the other guy was, but it's gonna be an AB or a Gronk game. That's what's gonna be. Evans I doubt plays this week, so
Yeah, no, he's week to week. I don't think he'll play this week. But yeah. On to the next game. So we got the LA Chargers -10 at the Houston Texans. See, like, to me, I don't know. The Chargers feel like a way more of a blowout candidate against the Texans than the Bucs do against the Panthers, yet they're both 10-point favorites. Um, I Even though the Chargers lost to the Chiefs, I mean, I was only able to watch the first half of the game because we went to see Spider-Man that night, but um, I liked how the Chargers are, in my opinion, one of the like biggest threats in the AFC, other than like the Chiefs, to be honest. Just because of Herbert, like they have Eckler, they have weapons.
Eckler's out.
Yeah, he's on
Well,
COVID. Well, he went on COVID.
Austin Jackson. AJ.
Yeah,
Lombard
went to high school like 5 minutes from us, Glenbard North.
Hey, I'm gonna try to get him on the show.
Get him on.
I played basketball with him, so not the flex, but
Probably dunked all over
Whoa.
you. Yeah, I don't know.
But that's
I mean,
gonna be
Chargers
cool.
-10 seems reasonable. I'd probably take it.
Chargers -10 easily. I think they're gonna kill Houston. They need to win. They need to win this game. This is a huge game for the Chargers. They want to stay in this playoff race. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, win. It's not a question, but I think they do. I think -10 is fair. I think the only text out is like Brandon Cooks, but I don't think that's gonna make a huge difference for them. But I don't know, Eckler's gonna hurt if he's out. That's gonna hurt them. But we'll see how Justin Jackson does, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with
I mean,
that.
they got the receivers back, right? Williams and Allen.
Yeah, they'll both play. Yeah, I
Justin
mean,
Jackson, he did good last week though.
I like the Chargers -10. They really should have beat the Chiefs if Brandon Staley isn't just like so like adamant. That dude sees fourth down. It could be 4th and 30. That dude will go for it. So, yeah, I like the Chargers -10 here. All right, next game is Buffalo Bills +2.5 at the New England Patriots. So
I'd take that.
no bad weather this time. I think the weather's supposed to be nice in New England. I remember hearing that this week. Somewhere I was listening. But I mean, we know my opinions on Mack Jones. I don't think he's very good. I mean, I think he's a smart
Nope.
quarterback. I think he's a game manager, there's nothing wrong with that. I think he's a slightly better Teddy Bridgewater. Like when Bridgewater was on, the Saints, he went 5-0 when Breeze was out. Like when you have a good coach and you have a decent defense and like you have a situation like he has, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a game manager. He's not going to pull. Everyone wants to say, oh, he did good against the Colts, like coming back. Yeah, he did. But like the Colts have been susceptible to like blowing big leads. Like they blew one to Tom Brady and the Bucks. I know they're good, and the Ravens as well. Like I don't know, they just blow big leads. I feel like they get really conservative and passive when they get big leads. The Colts. So yeah, he almost came back, but he had more turnovers than points at halftime. So he is a rookie. They're home though, and Belichick. I'm also not a naysayer on Josh Allen as well. So this is a tough
He's
one.
out for revenge.
It's a division game. It's tough.
Bills are out for revenge. I think they come out and just stomp them.
Yeah, I would take the Bills plus 2.5. I'm not gonna bet it, but if I had to pick, that's what I'd
I think
take.
the over might hit at 43.
Over-under's at 43.5. I don't know. It's tough for me. I don't like either quarterback. I think Mack Jones is good in the right situation, which he definitely is in. Because if Mack Jones went to Jacksonville or the Jets, like it'd be a tire fire. Like it'd be horrible. So
Those teams already are.
right.
Like it's a tough game, but I'm gonna go as well. Buffalo 2.5, but I do think Patriots come out and win this game. So it's a weird situation, but I'm taking Buffalo 2.5, but Patriots still win. So I think they just cover.
And now I'm just so sick of people thinking that like Mac Jones is the second coming of Brady. Like Jesus, man. Like Just because you're the
This
Patriots
game will
and
stop
like
that conversation.
the guy's like not like blowing it up, but he's smart. Like Jesus, man, Tom Brady's don't grow on trees. Like let's
Anthony,
not just.
you just don't want someone in front of Breeze again.
Breeze is already disrespected.
I think Mac fell into the perfect situation for himself. I think he is overrated in my opinion. And the Bills have probably been the biggest letdown in the NFL this year. But I think the Bills win. I think it's the overhits. They cover and they win. I think they kill them.
I think the Bill. I think the Bills are gonna win too. I would probably say by like a field goal. I don't know. It's just hard to. You never know. I mean, Belichick's good, but I mean, if the Patriots do win this game, it's not gonna be because of Mack Jones. So, but if they lose the game and he throws like 2 or 3 picks,
Because of Mack Jones.
yeah. So, all right, next game. The New York Giants +10 at the Eagles -10. I like the Giants, but I hate the Giants because they're double-digit underdogs every week, and they're a decent enough team where I always bet on their spread, and they always burn me, even in division games. So, screw them. I'm not betting this game, and if I had to bet it, I would bet the Giants +10 again because it's just a lot of points. And it's a division game, and the Giants won last time these two teams played. And I get Daniel Jones is out, but like, is he even that good to begin with? I don't think anyone thinks that. So,
You know, there are their other quarterbacks.
yeah, but like, how big is the drop off from Daniel Jones to Mike Glennon? I really don't think it's that much. The only difference is Daniel Jones can move. That's like
You say that, and then the game happens, and you're like, "Oh shit, Giants fucking blow."
He's done for the year, right? Jones?
Yeah, he's done for the year. But like the Giants, the Giants won last time, and it wasn't because of the offense. They won like. It was really low scoring. It was like 13-10 or so. I can't remember the score, but it was something really low. Really defensive game. Mike Glennon, but actually I don't know because Mike Glennon got replaced by Fromm I think last week. So I don't know.
I think Eagles are looking for their redemption and they're in the hunt for playoff seeds.
I think the Eagles are going to win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Home.
I don't.
Yeah, this game scares me. If you're gonna bet this game, I'd bet Eagles money line. That's it. I wouldn't even bet the spread. Eagles money line.
Over under is really low, 40.5. But like even that, like the game was like I said, it was like a 20-point game last time total. So yeah, I'm staying away from that. Boring anyways. I don't want to watch that. Even though I've Saquon in both my leagues, been useless. So.
I agree with Ryan. I'm not taking anything besides moneyline Eagles. It just hurts to watch Hurts.
He just had a good game though, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just
I don't trust that team.
Literally, it's just worse than like watching Lamar Jackson play. It's literally run first. I'm not even gonna look at the pass. I'm just gonna run, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's
true. That's true.
He's literally just the only thing he's good in is fantasy, and that he was my start of the week last week, and he was like I think like the 3rd best quarterback of the week because he had 2 rushing touchdowns, he had a bunch of rushing yards, he threw for a bunch of yards actually, he had but against Washington's COVID defense, so yeah, I don't even think the Eagles front office think he's the answer, so but he is good for fantasy if you have him. All right. Yeah. So next is Ravens +2.5. So underdogs at the Bengals.
Like the Bengals.
Yeah, I do too. I'm sticking with the money line again. This one, 'cause I don't trust the spread in this game. Only because
is Lamar playing?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
They said. So, actually, I wonder if he because I know Harbaugh said they were going to see if he could practice Wednesday, which was today. So I would have to see. I'll check that right now.
What DraftKings has.
So I don't know. I mean, he has an ankle sprain, right?
He did not practice. Oh no, that was updated yesterday. So yeah, he's got an ankle sprain. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, he didn't practice. So Huntley looked really good against the Packers.
So I like the over. At 36.5.
I like the Ravens +2.5. Wow, the over-under's at 36.5.
Yeah, I like that.
Is it really?
Is there
45.5.
What?
45?
Holy shit!
What the hell? Did something happen?
The odds for it are terrible though at minus 335. So,
Oh yeah, that's weird.
but that's
There
just
must just be
what they
something wrong.
started at.
Might just be something wrong with that.
Alternate
They
total.
probably they don't the odds are really weird. I like the Ravens plus 2.5. I like the Ravens to win this game. I think John Harbaugh is not going to lose another game to a divisional opponent.
Spread scares
This
me
is
on
this
that
is this is a
because
huge. I mean, it's huge for both teams, but this is a huge game for the Ravens. They easily could have, they almost came back and beat who everyone thinks is, the first, if not second best team in the league, Packers. And they lost to the Steelers in the divisional game, but it was the same thing, 2-point conversion, which I kind of like going for two in both those situations, but
Yeah, especially when you're at home.
yeah, I might bet this. I like the Ravens
But it
plus
just
two and
comes
a
back and
half.
hurts their record. So
Yeah, I like the Ravens plus 2.5. I like the Ravens to win this game.
spread scares me with the Ravens now. After the last 2 weeks, they've been going for 2 and fail it. So, but I'm gonna go Cincinnati money line. So
I have a lot of opinions about the Ravens. I think the Bengals are a better team. Lamar, we're talking about Lamar who sat out because he had a cold against the Bears and he's going to play with an ankle sprain. I don't think so. I think Tyler Huntley is actually a better passer than Lamar, but Lamar is a better playmaker. But I think with Harbaugh saying, asking everybody, oh, should we go for two? Like that's going to bite him in the ass and not going to make playoffs because you want to go for two every single game just to try to win the game. Or I get it, you want to take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands, but I mean, that's what 2 or 3 times this year they've gone for two and lost it. I think the Bengals kill them again this game.
Okay, so I'm on an island again. I'm fine with it. And I do like Joe Burrow. I do like Jamar Chase. I do like the Bengals, but I don't know. There's just something about that game to me. I feel like the Ravens are gonna pull it out.
I just think the Bengals have more weapons. But I mean, Tyler Huntley did look good, like we've been saying. So it's gonna be a high scoring game, I think.
50 each game he's played, Tyler Huntley. Like over 250 yards passing, which is the opposite of Lamar.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. He looks like a better thrower than Lamar, but like I agree with what you said about their comparison 100%. But we'll see because it's really small sample
We will
size with
see.
Huntley, and you never know. He might some backups do good or have good quarterbacks have good stretches. He might be awful, but from the small sample size we've seen, he looks pretty good. So.
Oh, like I said, the example about Teddy Bridgewater again with the Saints. I mean,
Exactly.
coach. So, I mean, yeah, they lost, but I mean, he played a hell of a couple games, so you got to give it to him. But I still think the Bengals definitely win, especially at home.
Okay. All right.
yeah.
On an island again. So, with that being said, on to the next game. We have a game I'm not interested at all. The Detroit Lions +6
Yeah, let's just roll through
at
it.
the Atlanta Falcons -6 at home.
Detroit +6. That's it. Next.
Yeah, if I had to bet, I'm taking
I
I'm
do like
taking
the
Atlanta.
over though.
I'm taking
I think I
Atlanta.
like the over.
I'm taking Atlanta -6 if I had to pick. Over unders at 43. All right.
You're not on an island anymore.
You going with Atlanta too?
Very well. I mean, so have the Lions. I think the Lions are undefeated in the last 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah, I think the Falcons. I would just bet money line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, I think Falcons win, but I'd go with the spread with Detroit.
Wouldn't be
so.
surprised, yeah. All right, next game,
knows?
even worse. It's a pick'em game. So I think the Jets, I can't remember which team was favored, but it's a pick'em game. Jacksonville Jaguars at New York Jets. The first and second overall picks do battle with their hapless organizations. Yeah. I'm not gonna bet a game that I have absolutely I would rather watch my high school team play anyone. I would rather watch my high school team play the New York Jets than watch the Jaguars play the New York Jets. So,
I actually think this is gonna be easy money. Jacksonville disappointed me last week. I had them over Houston, and
Same.
it proves me that Jacksonville is just a terrible, terrible team, regardless of who the fuck the coach is.
You hear that, Urban
So
Meyer?
I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence. You know, I mean, I had to say James Robinson had a decent game last week. But I'm gonna go with the Jets here. Jets money line. I think they're gonna kill Jacksonville. Jacksonville is just, oh my god, terrible, terrible.
I don't really have a say on this game.
I'm
I'm
taking
not.
Yeah,
You're what?
James Robinson's gonna have himself a day.
hope so.
I hope not. I'm versing him. Fuck. Jesus. Everyone who's gonna have a day, I'm gonna go against. All right. Well, on to the Chicago Bears plus 6.5 at Seattle. Ryan, you want to take this one away? You want to start with this one?
Well, what can I say? I'm gonna make this short. Seattle money line, easy. I mean, I would go with the spread, but I still have some faith in Chicago, so I'm gonna go with the Bears. Seattle money line. That's it. You guys, I'm assuming all the same thing, so we'll go to the next game.
And well, is Lockett going to be back?
Yeah, he probably will be, and even if he isn't, I
Bears.
don't care. Seattle minus 6.5. I was a fool. I bet on the Bears spread last week. I got credited the $20 free bet for the holidays for DraftKings. Used my Christmas present on the Chicago Bears. Turned right into coal. Turned right into coal for Christmas. So they lost me a lot of money. So screw
I
them.
don't even think you got that.
No, yeah, I got.
Well, that one's
Nothing.
on you. That one's on you. You should know that. You should know that.
Well,
But
dude, like I get the Bears are bad, but it's a divisional game. Choke Cousins in prime time. Like, you
Yeah,
can't
look good on
cover a
paper.
6.5 spread. Come on, they had
to be
chances.
fair- yeah, to be fair, I mean, I didn't really watch. I kind of because we were at the gym, so I kind of
Yeah.
saw like probably maybe like a little bit of the second half of the game. I heard there were some really bad calls in this game on both sides.
I mean,
But I'm not gonna make an excuse for that. Let's just.
I guess
Like
the-
Justin Fields isn't even throwing the fucking ball, and he needs to throw the fucking ball. Like
I heard this.
you got
I'm not
wide
blaming
receivers
this at
wide
all
open.
on
Like
Justin
holy
Fields.
shit.
I
I'm
no,
not
I don't
saying,
blame
but,
Justin.
like,
Justin, if you really watch, because I watched the second half. If you really watch these Bears games, that every time he drops back, that dude is running for his life. That offensive line,
'cause their line
is
is trash.
horrible. Yeah, it's terrible. And like I said to Ryan, he made one. There was one pass, and it's not a pass that anyone's gonna look at, but it was it was like a 5-yard pass. And Mooney came on a crossing route and sat, and Fields threw it to his left because the defender was on his right, and which told Mooney to go left. And Kendricks missed the tackle, and it got a couple extra yards, and that's just like a pro level throw, and it's stuff like that. I've never liked the Bears quarterback in my lifetime. I like Justin Fields. I don't think he's a problem. I think if he
the
had
coaches.
good protection, I think you'd be seeing a very different quarterback. I do think he, like most rookies, pretty much every rookie is turnover prone. Like you see him fumbling the ball, and like he's got to get better with that. But I think he will. But I don't know. Seattle
Like I said,
at
this is
home.
The Bears fans are saying this is a crucial time in their franchise. Like, gotta get rid of the coach. You know, you gotta get rid of the GM. Like, you're
gotta
either gonna
clean
fucking
house.
go up, or you're just gonna stay in the fucking trash can and be lit on fire for the next 20 more
Starting
years.
from Ted Phillips and down. I mean, to be honest, if I'm McCaskey, I hope you sell the team, but that's never gonna happen. So Ted Phillips needs to resign, and you need to start. You need to get a GM, obviously new coach, and you need to just because
If this new stadium's gonna happen, don't you want to have a fucking offensive team for this stadium? Like, people want to watch offensive games, not defense. Like the offense
Yeah,
is gonna
but
win you
like
a game, not
this is
just
the thing.
defense.
I heard this as well. Someone on a podcast I was listening to this week was like, they like when you think of the Chicago Bears and their identity, like what is the one part, not like offense defense, the one like unit that you would say they're known for? It's linebacker, and like they always have good linebackers. They have one now, and before Roquan Smith, it was Urlacher, and before that, like they had the
Yeah.
85 Bear. They've always had good linebackers, always. But like in today's game, like linebackers are important. Don't get me wrong, but like it's a high flying passing league, and like they let go of Kyle Fuller. Like you have a rookie quarterback who you're not paying. You don't have to pay him any money. So and all their money is at linebacker. They had to let go of a very good corner, which are not like a dime a dozen in this league, to keep their linebacker because they overpaid their linebackers because that's their identity.
I could talk all day on this.
They just
They
need
just
a
need
reboot.
they need a reboot. They need
They
everything.
need
you
a
know,
new
like,
face.
my opinion, the next 3 games, you bench Fields. That guy's gonna get killed. You start Dalton or you start Foles because eventually one of those guys needs to show
Gonna break
up.
a leg.
And I saw Fields was like missed practice or limited practice on Monday because he's dealing or not on Monday on Tuesday because he got an ankle injury. Yeah, he's gonna get. I think of Andrew Luck. Not saying Fields is as good as Andrew Luck, but look at Andrew Luck. That dude was getting killed behind his bad offensive line for years, and Fields is the same way. This dude is running for his life every time he takes a snap.
I feel bad for Nick Foles because he's not a great quarterback, but like he's just sitting there as a third stringer who could be a starter right now.
He doesn't care. I don't care.
Wants to play,
he got his glory days. He won his Super Bowl.
He wants to play. He's not gonna.
How old is he? Like mid-30s?
There are teams out there that have, what's his name? The Gilbert guy who played for Cleveland.
Yeah, but that was Washington. But that's COVID. That's this year. That's just how COVID is.
If he wanted to play, he'd speak up.
Yeah, that's practice squad.
Speak up. What can you say? I mean, you're
trade me. I mean,
signed a deal.
Cut me.
That's the thing. No one wants him.
Yeah, but he stinks. I don't feel bad for him. I would feel bad for him if he was a stud. He sucks.
Not a terrible number 2.
Yeah, neither is Dalton.
Yeah, but Dalton's only a 1-year deal. He's gone after this.
I don't think that matters. I think that if I had to start this is a stupid question, but if I had to start a franchise today, I'm taking Dalton.
Yeah, easily.
Exactly. So why would Foles be your number 2 if Dalton's better than he is?
You want to get him out there and try to get rid of him.
Nothing's gonna help. The team's done for. Next.
Bears fans pulling their hair.
Next. Seahawks minus 6.5.
You guys hear in one of the videos for the Bears game where they challenged something and someone said, after further review, we still suck.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Oh,
dude,
that sums up the Bears.
Dude, I went to a Bears Saints game. I think this was 2 years because it was during that it was 2 years ago because Teddy was playing. And that was when they had Trubisky, and they were terrible that day. And I'm sitting there, and I just hear this guy behind me go, "I don't know how much more of this pain I can take." And as all the fans are leaving in the fourth quarter, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough because the Chicago is a great city, great history, and they just
go Sox.
They've never had a good quarterback ever. Like their best quarterback ever is like
85.
McMahon. Sid Luckman always comes up. NFL in the 60s doesn't count to me. And then Jay Cutler is probably your best quarterback in the history of your franchise, which is saying something.
You need to just get rid of
Was he ever a Pro
Bowler? You need to put
Bowler?
Nagy out of his
Cutler, yeah.
Cutler? Yeah, for
Was he?
Denver though.
For the Bears?
Denver,
Not for the Bears.
I don't know about the Bears, but
not
he
for
definitely was.
the Bears. No, I don't think he was.
But
they need to end. They need to take the misery. Like just get rid of Matt Nagy. He's a nice guy, good, terrible coach, and he's going through so much right now between his son.
They said something on the broadcast that I guess this year they enacted a rule that you can start interviewing for your coach 2 weeks, like at the second regular season week, so it'd be week 17. But you have to have fired your coach, and all the Bears
notified him.
Yeah.
Yes, or notify him that they're not returning. And the Bears never. There's this thing. It was like 101 years of the franchise. They never fired a coach midseason.
So bad.
But in my opinion, I think you go after Eric Bieniemy on the Chiefs. I think you need an offensive mind. And I think Fields. I'm not saying Fields is Mahomes by any means, but he's got a big arm. I think he's a good deep ball thrower. He can move, so he has similar parts of Mahomes, kind of how he plays. So I think Bieniemy would be well. Obviously, as far as like position players go, obviously you need to upgrade. And offensive line should be priority number 1. Otherwise, who I could think could be your franchise quarterback is going to have a very short career. But yeah, I think Bieniemy would be the smartest choice for them, just because I see similarities in the way they play. But
moving on.
yeah, That instead of a matchup breakdown, that was more of just destroying the Bears. Okay, so next
Ryan had to
game.
get some stuff off his chest for the season. Okay.
Next game is Denver Broncos +1 at the Vegas Raiders.
I like Raiders.
Raiders. Spread.
Raiders. Is Teddy B alive?
He got concussed. He got taken off on a stretcher.
Yeah, he
Denver's
ain't gonna
done.
play. So
Denver's done.
I mean, if he clears the concussion protocol, he'll play. But I don't know. I don't really know if that matters. They just can't.
I don't think he's gonna play.
If the Broncos were at home, I would take the Broncos +1, but they're not.
You love the Broncos. 3 weeks in a row, man. You just.
I like him at home.
I said Raiders.
No, I would take the Raiders, yeah, but I like the Broncos at home. There's just that stadium is hard to play at. Like, granted, I don't know. I mean, the Broncos did beat the Cowboys in Dallas, but that was a while ago. So, especially if Drew Lock is playing, I like the Broncos here. Then again, I mean, the Raiders. It took a walk-off field goal to beat Nick Mullins.
If Drew Lock is playing, you like the Broncos.
Oh, sorry, I meant the Raiders. Sorry, misspoke. Yeah, I like the Raiders if Drew Lock is playing. If Teddy's playing, give me the Broncos +1. But because the Raider, there's a lot of these teams where they're so hard to read. Like the Raiders will beat the Cowboys, and then it'll take a walk-off field goal to beat Nick Mullins and the COVID-destroyed Browns. So, yeah, I mean, I wonder if Waller's going to play as well. He's been out forever. You know, he might be due to come back. You never know. But, like I said, Teddy plays. I take Denver +1. If he doesn't, I would take the Raiders -1. All right, next game. This should be a decent game. The Steelers +7.5. This line moved a lot to the Chiefs -7.5. Chiefs are at home. Line moved a lot because, as we all know, I'm getting screwed by this. I hope Tyreek Hill plays, but Tyreek Hill is on the COVID list. Kelsey's on the COVID list, and
so moved
I think
in the Steelers' favor.
Yeah, this
Like
line it was wild. I think the Chiefs were 12.5-point favorites when I saw this yesterday. But yeah, the COVID news broke out, and apparently it's gonna get worse for the Chiefs. Like there's just some that hasn't been announced. But I know Tyreek Hill went on, which really hurts me in the league if he doesn't play. Kelsey went on it before he did, and then I think today Josh Gordon and a couple other players went on, not skill positions, but like I think a line. I can't remember who, but I know more players went on, and I think there's gonna be more throughout the week, is what I was seeing. But the Chiefs have been.
And I'll stay away from that game until stuff.
Yeah, this is 100% a game because for all we know, Mahomes could be out.
Game too,
Mahomes could be out of this game. You never know. So, this is a game you 100% wait till Sunday if you're gonna bet it. I would take the Chiefs -7.5 if that's around the number it's gonna be at come the game time. To be honest,
I would take the under if those guys are gonna be out too.
Yeah, I mean the over/under's at 44. Chiefs
Steelers can't really
unders.
score.
I think the under when the Chiefs are at home is really good.
Mahomes hasn't been that good at home this year.
Under's 5-3 at Arrowhead this year.
I think if you have Hill or Kelsey, I think the Steelers cover, in my opinion. But I don't know.
That's fair. Comes down to
I'm gonna second that. Yeah, that's gonna be mine.
Yeah, but like I said, this is a tough game to judge right now. We're recording this on a Wednesday night just because of the Chiefs are apparently getting brutalized by COVID this week, so you're just gonna have to wait and see. What comes.
Are we all?
Yeah,
next game?
One of us is for sure. Looking at you, Ryan. All right, so next game, Sunday Night Football. We have the Dallas Cowboys -10.5 at home against the Washington Football Team.
Well, put a fork in Washington. They're done.
Yeah.
Dallas -10.
-10.5.
Said no.
Is Heineke playing?
I think he should be. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, he's gonna have to clear the COVID list, but I think he should.
If he plays, they cover. They always play down against Washington, and Washington always seems to come back somehow. So I think they cover.
I bet Washington to cover last time. It was a 6.5-point spread with Washington. The thing is, Washington's like entire defense is on COVID. This is another one that's tough. You're gonna have to wait till Sunday. However, like, you know, if it comes Sunday and get all these guys off COVID, the line's gonna move in Washington's favor, right? Like it's gonna go down to like probably like 8, 7.5. It was 6.5 the last time they played. That was in Washington. Washington almost got that backdoor cover. Extra point got blocked on a Dak pick 6 at the end, but yeah. Sunday Night Football, so I'll probably bet it. And I'll probably take I agree with Nico. I think if Heineke plays plus 10.5, I like Washington there.
Last 2 times I've bet Washington spread, they've screwed me. So, and the
Money
last time
line
they played,
only.
right? The last time they played, Dallas won 27-20. I remember they were killing Washington. I think that's the game. That's when we were at.
They were beating
That's
down
what I just
Washington.
said.
Dak
It was a
throws a
pick
pick.
six.
Dak throws a pick 6. The extra point gets blocked, so it's 27-20. I think Washington got the onside kick.
Yeah,
And they threw
a pick. I think.
Yeah, they threw a pick.
At like the 5 or something.
Kyle
And
Allen.
Washington was home, so.
Yeah, but
But-
Washington
Yeah,
also in
yeah.
that game. Washington was missing like all their defenders or their defensive line. Sorry. It's hard, man. Like they covered the last 2 times, but it's hard to bet on Dallas as a big favorite. It just is for me. I don't know. That like I said it last week. That like if Dak plays out of his like how he is supposed to play, he's getting paid like $35-40 million, whatever it is. I don't think he's worth it. But if he plays to that caliber, yeah, they should kill Washington. Zeke is still hurt, but like, dude, you have Gallup, you have Cooper, you have CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz is a good tight end. You have a good offensive line. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't kill Washington, but I don't know, Dallas. So I like Washington.
Even Pollard's a tank. I mean, their whole team. You look at their whole offensive line or the offensive weapons. I mean, they look so good on paper, and they're just overrated in my opinion, though.
Yeah, they're loaded. Like everyone thought coming into the year, offense would be the reason they did good, and it's the defense. Micah Parsons is awesome to watch. He's incredibly fast for a linebacker, defensive lineman, whatever. He could play anywhere. He's really fun to watch. I do think Diggs is overrated though. I think I said this last week. He gets burned, but he's like Marcus Peters. Takes a lot of chances, which results in a lot of picks, but also results in him giving up big plays. But I don't think Washington. I like Washington plus 10.5 just because I don't know. Divisional games are always kind of close. Sunday night football games are usually like primetime division games are usually pretty close. Even the Vikings Bears this past Monday night divisional game, like as bad as the Bears were, it was an 8-point game. Like I don't know. I think Washington covers in my opinion plus 10.5.
Yeah, I'll see.
The Monday night game?
On a Monday night. I didn't even realize they played on Monday night, but Dolphins are plus 3 at the New Orleans Saints. Told y'all last week they were going to cover plus 11 against the Bucks because they always play them well. Little shutout on Tom
take the
Brady.
Dolphins.
That felt good. Yeah, but I think that shutout in primetime is definitely overhyping the Saints. Dolphins are, I said it last week, they're a poor man's Patriots.
Like 6-0. Like the last 6
They've
games,
won
right?
like 6 or 7 in a row. Yeah, they're a poor man's Patriots. I said it like Tua and Mack Jones are very similar quarterbacks. I think what's the coach's name? I'm totally blanking. Brian Flores. I think he's from Bill Belichick's like coaching tree. Like I think he was under Belichick before he got the job in Miami. Their defense is good. Tua's, he's not bad. I really don't think he's horrible. I like the Dolphins plus 3 here. I just don't trust Saints offense. I trust their defense, but I just can't.
Hard to trust him with your quarterback.
Put Ian Book in, please. See what we have in Ian Book. Just put him in. Can't hurt. Although I will say this. And it's a big if, I think they would make it right now if the season ended right now. The Saints make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat a playoff team. Because if you look at their wins this year, They beat Tampa Bay twice. They beat New England, and they beat Green Bay. Granted, long time ago they beat Green Bay, and long time ago they beat New England, and hey, had Jameis. But they could beat good teams, and I don't think any of these playoff teams would want to play the Saints defense. And they have good coaching, so to be honest, I don't want.
I
the
do like
Saints to
the
make-
over though too. 39. I think
Could see
Dolphins
it.
continue to put up
It's
points.
tough. Both
Saints,
teams
I
have
think they'll find the end zone a couple times maybe.
both teams have really good defenses, so it's tough. But 39 is a low score, so I could see it. But to be honest, I think the Dolphins win this game.
I was going back and forth between Saints money line and the Dolphins spread, but I'm gonna go Dolphins spread here. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a lot different game than Saints Bucks. So, it does scare me that the Dolphins are 6 or 7-0. So, could be they are due for a loss, but I think it's gonna be a close game, and I'll take Dolphins +3.
Yeah, I won't bet this game. If anything, I'd bet the Saints money line. Personally, I'm not going to bet against the Saints.
Not biased.
If you were smart, you would bet the Dolphins spread, and you'd probably put a little bit on the Dolphins money line. But I'm not going to bet against my team, so I'll probably just bet the Saints money line. So I'll give you my biased and non-biased answer. What do you say?
I said I'll take Dolphins +3. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up winning this game. They're playing good football. And, I don't know about you, but I had Duke Johnson scoring 2 touchdowns last week.
Definitely.
Wow,
you know that's a first.
well,
I had the game. I had NFL radio on I was in Chicago this past Sunday, and I was on my way home. And I guess that's the first time in his career he had multiple rushing touchdowns in a game.
Gaskin hurt or something?
No, he's not
I
that
was-
good.
I don't know.
He's decent.
Not good. He's decent.
He's sleeper weeks.
He was
Yeah,
he was my keeper in our main league this year. It started off
I
as
have
Cam
him on my
Akers.
team.
It started off as Cam Akers, tore his Achilles, then went to Dobbins, tore his ACL, then it was Gaskin, and I cut him. So
the opportunity in one league. Someone sent me a trade before week 1. They sent me a trade Cooper Kupp for J.K. Dobbins, and I denied it. I'm so pissed.
oh my God.
Oh my
That would
god.
have been that would have been an incredible trade for you. Holy. It's funny because I was telling Ryan this yesterday. In one of our leagues, Ryan had Devontae Adams, and I already had good receivers. So I have in this league Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, and Cooper Kupp. I have all 3 of those guys. I really wanted Devontae Adams. I'm biased towards him, and there was a point like 3 weeks into the year, I almost decided to try to trade Kupp for Adams, just because I know Kupp's good but he was unbelievable, and no one saw this coming from him. And I'm like, is he gonna keep it going? I wasn't sure, but I ended up not doing it. Thank God, because he's having one of if not the best receiving season by the end of this year. So we'll see, but. That wraps up all the matchups for this week. So what do we want to talk about next? We can get into our top 10s. A lot of movement in mine this week. We could go anywhere.
Let's go. How about we do top 10 into starting sits, and then after that we can kind of discuss something else, and then obviously finish it off with locks and upsets.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I could kick off my top 10 first if you want.
That's fine. And obviously, just for the people that don't know, but there's no hockey because they've been postponed until after the holidays because of COVID. So no Ryan's hockey, no Ryan and Chad's hockey bets for a little while.
No, Ryan, 60 seconds.
Hopefully next week it'll return.
I'm hoping. I need my hockey back.
All right. So a lot of movement in my top 10 this week. Start off, number 10, I have the Patriots. I had a feeling they were going to lose to the Colts, and they did. Jonathan Taylor put them away. I've said it all year. Mack Jones, overrated. You look at that win streak they were on, who did they really beat? The 2 teams you could say, Chargers and Buffalo. Chargers I think, have gotten a lot better now. I think if you look at the Chargers lately, they look really good. Herbert threw a late pick 6 in that game. Buffalo, they were playing in 30-mile-an-hour winds, and we're going to see how they play this week. with normal weather. So we'll see. But they're 10 for now. Number 9, dropping from number 6 for me was the Cardinals. Hard not to drop them after what I saw against the Lions. Got dominated by a 1-win team after they were, one of the big favorites in the NFC. So maybe they could big bounce back game this week. They play the Colts on Christmas Day, so that'll be a good game. But they're number 9 for me. Number 8, the Niners. They're rolling. Jimmy G's looks really good. Run game is good as always. Debo's healthy. Nick Bosa's been outstanding. Only question mark is their secondary. But I like the Niners in 8, and wouldn't be surprised if they climb up these rankings next week as well. Number 7, I have the Cowboys. Cowboys is kind of just off potential. They have all the pieces. They have a playmaking DB. They have a stud pass rusher. Offensive weapons are some of the best in the league. Good offensive line, but Dak's inconsistent. If he was playing up to par, they would by far be better than they are right now. But 7 for me. Number 6 for me is the Buccaneers. They dropped because I think these injuries are really going to hurt Brady. I don't know if you're going to really see it over these next 3 weeks just because their opponents are not the best. But with that being said, really bad injuries to the Bucs this week. Shutout on prime time. Who dat? So, yeah, I'm going to have them at 6. And then number 5, Colts. Colts beat the Patriots, ended their 7-game winning streak. They are a team that I don't think anyone wants to see in the playoffs. They can keep the star quarterbacks on the sidelines with Taylor. So Colts are super, super dangerous. Very good defense, well coached, best running back in football. So got the Colts at 5. I have the Chargers at 4, mainly because of Justin Herbert. I think they're incredibly dangerous. If Derwin James stays healthy, that defense is like really underrated in my opinion. Joey Bosa can get after you. Derwin James is a stud. So Chargers at 4 for me. Rams at 3 for me. So Stafford kind of had a hiccup midway through the season. New team, kind of to be expected, but back to looking like the MVP caliber he was playing at before. They look really good. Cooper Kupp's unstoppable. They have so many playmakers on defense. Aaron Donald, best lineman in the game. Ramsey, my opinion, best corner in the game. So super scary team as well. On to the top 2. Packers at 2 for me. Kind of let their foot off the gas against Baltimore. Baltimore's a good team, but backup quarterback in, and almost lost last second to a backup quarterback. So kind of for the first time in a while saw the Packers not blow someone out. No, like that. Them and the Chiefs right now are co-favorites for Super Bowl champs. So very close 1 and 2 for me. But number 1, I have the Chiefs. Played a divisional opponent, made the game go to overtime. Mahomes, I think we were in the movie, so I wasn't able to watch, but I think I heard he had like 2 or 3 75, I think it was 3 75-yard drives in that game to come back and then win in overtime. So Chiefs are just, their defense is playing super well. Offense looked really good on Sunday, but could go either way for me, Chiefs and Packers. But this week I got the Chiefs at 1, Packers at 2. That's my top 10.
Yeah, Jay, I want to know.
Top 10?
No.
Hell no, boy.
Right.
Do like top 2.
I'm going to go next. Due to my sore throat, I'm not going to really explain each fucking team, so I'm just going to say the teams. Number 10, I have San Francisco. They've been playing better. 9, I have the Chargers. 8, I have the Colts. 7, I have the Bills. 6, I have the Rams. 5, I have Arizona. 4, I have Tampa Bay. And this is where a lot of people will probably disagree with me, but it is what it is. I don't care. 3, I have the Chiefs. 2, I have the Patriots. And 1, I have the Packers.
Holy
so
cow.
That's bold.
That's what
You
we'll
want
see.
So do you want to talk about it? Can you explain Patriots?
Yeah,
wait, can we? All right, I want. Not only do I want an explanation
we
of
need
Patriots at 2.
We need a clickbait.
After
Looks
that,
like-
I want the explanation for the Bills at 7 over the Colts.
Bills at 7 over the Colts.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to. It's hard for me to.
Hey, give him some
Bills-
slack because he's drugged up.
Bills are. I don't know. I still think Bills are a better team than the Colts, but we'll see. I don't know. It's, like I said, 2 more weeks of football. Things can change. A lot can happen. Going back to the Patriots. I mean, the last 3 weeks I've had the Patriots at number 2. There's something about them. Don't get me wrong. I'm like not a fan of them or anything like that. Like I've always hated them. So but there's just something about them. I don't know. I think they're up there, and we'll see in a couple months when playoffs hit if I'm wrong or right. But that's just my bold prediction. I think, like I said, we've said this the last 2 weeks. Packers, in my opinion, are probably going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. So it's going to come down to, probably to the Patriots or Kansas City, or it could be a playoff where there could be a team that comes out of nowhere. The Colts could be that team, the Chargers could be that team, which who knows, but I just feel like it's too easy for like Packers and Kansas City. But we'll see. Who knows? Like I said, I'm no expert, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I could give you like a quick top 5. Obviously, one would be Packers, and then the other 4 is like Chiefs, Rams, Colts, and
Bucks.
who the fuck knows?
Probably the Bucks.
I would say, I mean, Bucks are hard because obviously they lost their
The
top
injuries.
target.
That's,
So that's why if
that's
they
why
would
dropped for
be
me.
at 5. The other 3 would kind of just be like throw some darts at a board and see where everyone lands.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got Cardinals at 10, just because with all their injuries this year, I feel like they just can't find themselves again. I got the Bengals at 9. Their offense is insane. I mean, there's Joey B's a tank. I mean, Jamar Chase, they're just a good team. I think they're very underrated. I think they end up winning the division. Patriots 8, not number 2, 8. Colts at 7.
This guy.
Chargers at 6. Cowboys 5. Bucks 4. Rams at 3. Chiefs 2. And obviously, you guys didn't say this team, the Carolina Panthers. No, I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't have surprised me.
You said Packers?
Yeah, I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl.
He said Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers.
Is there a 2015 in front of the Panthers?
Give me MVP Cam.
All right,
I got some beef with Nico's team here, man. What's going on with McCaffrey, dude? That dude's been.
He's too like big of a dude for being so small. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, he's so big. Like his legs are so big that like with the workload they give him, he was bound to get hurt.
His fantasy stock dropped next year big time. Like he might probably be in the top 10 still, maybe.
I
But
won't be
for a
drafted. I don't
running
care. Dude, I have to
You know
be
what's
getting
gonna
a bargain on him to be able to draft him.
You
Like,
know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like the 4th round, and he's gonna like.
no
you're gonna
way
see
he'll
him
be there. If he's
I
there,
know,
I'd
but,
take him. I would have
Right.
to get him. It would have to be. It would have 3rd round. I'd have to. Just on his potential, I'd have to take him in the 3rd round. But dude, no way. I have to stop drafting with bias because I took Saquon in every league because I thought he's, mainly because of the story. Oh, coming off a torn ACL, wanted to, go off, and I like him, but no more of that nonsense. What if Kamara's there? I'm taking him.
I don't hate Hubbard though.
You don't like him?
I said I don't hate him.
Oh. Yeah, I don't really watch like I watch normally Red Zone, so like it would have to be when he's on. But like fantasy wise this year, he hasn't looked good. But
You usually see Cam just running in typically.
yeah, that's the thing that I hate too. And Ryan said this last year because he had Kamara. Granted, Kamara was the best running back for fantasy last year, but it was aggravating when they would put Taysom Hill in. He'd get a touchdown robbed from Kamara. That's the thing I do hate about having a running back that has these running quarterbacks. Eagles, Panthers, Saints with Taysom.
They all fucking run now.
Yeah, but like when it
Over
comes
like
to
Rodgers and
yeah, but
Brady
even
or
Rodgers only has a
Bills.
couple touchdowns. Like they'd have to.
no, Allen runs.
Oh,
Was I
Allen
saying
runs.
Bills?
Yeah, he said Bill. Allen
Oh, I
runs.
was saying teams that don't have a
Oh,
running
Oh,
quarterback.
oh.
That's why
Yeah,
when he threw Bills out, I was like,
that
huh?
it's tough. Like that's what sucks is like you're gonna get a lot of touchdowns vultured from you. But Hubbard, I don't. Everyone was expecting him to kind of be like the Mike Davis of last year. Like Mike Davis is super good. I had him last year when McCaffrey went down. He's just I don't know if it's really um a knock on him. I think the Panthers' offense was just better last year.
A rule. I think he's a problem.
Yeah, maybe he goes back to college.
yeah. I was gonna say, isn't he a college coach? Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's.
Yeah, that'll kind
It,
of wrap up top 10.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, we can go into. We
so
can
I think
talk
we just
something else, or
we could talk some fantasy. Or how many leagues were you in this year, Nico?
I was in 2, and I made playoffs in 1. The other one I went 5-9, which kind of sucks, but
Are
it
you
happened.
are you still in playoffs for the one league or no?
Yeah, I did win last week. I was kind of an asshole to kind of rub it into the person I was playing, just because he talked shit to me all year, and I think it was 3-0 against him this year, including last week. So I was winning. I had Nick Chubb and David Montgomery, and I was still winning. And he had nobody left. I think it was up like 17 points. And I took him and I put him on my bench, and I texted him. I was like, hey, like Nick Chubb and David Montgomery need a break. They need a breather, so I'm putting him on my bench.
Dude, I remember this is a little off topic, but there was a year where Ryan got pissed at me because in fantasy baseball, I was versing him, and it was like it was the last game. The only player that was left, I was winning by, I want to say it was like less than a point and a half, and strikeouts were minus a half, and I had Baez going. I benched him. I'm like, because he'll strike out a bunch of times, and he ended up getting like 9 points, or whatever the hell it was, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, that stuff. I feel like a lot of leagues have rules on that now.
Nico, did you want to name drop that person or no?
No.
No, he'll stay unnamed.
You don't
Hey, that's karma for next year if you name drop.
I'm a little nervous because my dad is in our one league, and so last year I swept him, and we always kind of go trash talk each other back and forth, and then this year I swept him in the regular season, so I'm like I played him right before, like one or two, like it was like the second last week of the year, so I'm like, I have an early Christmas present for you, and I sent him a picture of a broom. I'm like, got the sweep. He goes, watch out. He goes, you're taunting, and he sent the ref gif. And then this week he's like, oh, looks like I'm projected to win. He goes, father versus son, and he sent me Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. He's like, I'm looking to break the sweep, so I might get a little backlash for that one, but we'll see.
I like to change my team name to whoever I'm. Either I'll troll like their last name or whatever. So his name this year, he has CD Lamb, so CD's nut swinging. So after I won, I changed it to See Me Win. He was about that.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm going. I got a tough matchup. I was in 7 leagues this year. Only made 2. Terrible year. I talked about it last week. terrible year this year. But this one league I'm going up against. I'm going up against the number 1 guy, and he's got Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Samuel, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Higby, Foreman, and yeah, he did have Mitchell as well, but he's hurt obviously. I have Justin Herbert, Renfro, Mike Evans, who will probably be benched for probably either Adam Thielen if he plays or Russell Gage. Antonio Gibson, Nick Chubb, Dawson Knox, Keenan Allen, and it doesn't really matter the rest, the kicker and so it's going to be a very honestly the key matchups for me, Taylor and Adams. If those guys don't go off, I might have a chance. Same with Samuel.
So,
but
I have 2 leagues left as well. Last week, or one of the leagues, playoffs started this week, and only 4 teams make it, so it's just 2 weeks, this week and next week. But I had already clinched the first seed, so basically last week was a bye week for me, and then I had a bye in the other league. So one of these leagues, it's a new league this year, is a keeper league. I've been dominating, just absolutely killing everyone. I ended the year on a 7-game win streak. I was 13-2. Next best team was 10-5. I have Rodgers, Jamar Chase, Kupp, Saquon, Jonathan Taylor. It's a 2-quarterback league, and you start 2 quarterbacks. I have Stafford and Rodgers. So I've been killing everyone, and I'm looking now. The guy I'm playing he has Eckler, who's on COVID. Gibson's questionable. He's got Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley, so whichever one will play. He's got Higbee on COVID. So the guy I'm playing is he's got three empty spots on his roster right now. I think he's just kind of waiting to see what happens. But I'm that's the one league I'm confident in. The other one, weeks ago I was confident because I had McCaffrey. Now he's gone. And now I had Darrell Henderson was kind of my staple, but Michelle got the bulk of the carries last week. And I'm versing. This is the league I'm versing my dad, and I'm projected to lose. I have Tyreek Hill, so please play. But he has Mahomes, so anything Hill gets anyways will just get negated. But that's the league I'm nervous of. I have Deebo Samuel and Cooper Kupp in that league, but everyone else is underachieving. I might have to start Jeff Wilson this week. I don't know yet. And I can't wait till Sunday because 49ers play Thursday. So I'm in a tough spot, but
I'm with you. I have Eckler as well. So I have Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, David Montgomery, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown starting as of now, which I'm torn. I don't know what to do. Dallas Goedert, Saquon, Dallas is D, and then McPherson. But I have Brandon Cooks, obviously, is on the COVID list on my bench. I have Tony Pollard on my bench, and then I have Eckler, obviously, on the COVID list. So I'm hoping Eckler can play because obviously he's vaccinated and he still has a chance to play. But I don't know. I'm pretty nervous with AJ Brown and starting Saquon. But
yeah, I also it's funny because I have Goddard and I haven't had him, or I picked him up. I haven't started him all year because this is an 8-man league. So I've had mostly Dalton Schultz all year, but this week I'm going with Goddard. Last 2 games he's gone off, so I'm a little bit nervous starting a guy in my first week of playoffs that I haven't played all year. Dude, running back's my big thing. What'd you say?
You haven't played Goddard, you said?
I picked him up this week. Because we're in an 8-man league, so sometimes there might be a better than normal player on the waiver wire. So yeah, I picked him up. I've never played him, so I'm playing him this week. I saw a graphic. I think NFL tweeted out today. It was showing the top 5 fantasy wide receivers this year, and I had 3 of the 4: Kupp, Deebo, and Tyreek. Granted, I might not have Tyreek this week, but I'm really gonna need them to carry me because, man, my running back situation. I had McCaffrey, he went down. I had Henderson, he's been out for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden I have Michelle as well, but for example, I'm looking at it right now. Michelle's projected 11. Henderson's projected 10. I don't know who to start if I have to start one of those guys.
Not worthy enough to start, I don't think.
Either of them?
I would start Henderson over Michelle if you had to, but
See, that's what I would have thought, but this last game, both of them played, and Michelle had 18 rushes for 92 yards and 2 catches. And I think Henderson had... he had 6 carries, but he's coming off it's really hard. And going into the game, McVay's and he'll probably do the same thing this week. So the flow of the game will dictate what I go with. Well, it's really hard to start a guy off that. So yeah, it's tough. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
The Rams that long to get Michelle a workload with them trading for him. I figured that they would put him in more, but they didn't really use him all up until 2 or 3 weeks ago. I feel like.
Yeah, Henderson was out there for us too.
So
it's tough, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Should be an interesting week. So
yeah,
we'll
we can go on to starts and sits from there. So last week my starts and sits, I told you to start Hurts, who was 3rd best quarterback this week. Told you to start Henderson / Michelle, whichever one started. Of course, they both played. They combined for 16 points, but not really that good. And I told you to start Deontay Johnson, who laid an egg. He had 8 points. So Sit, though, I told you sit Burrow. He had 150 yards and a touchdown, so not much. Told you sit Hubbard. He didn't do anything really. I think he had like 10. And then I told you sit Jamar Chase, and he had one catch for 3 yards. So he's been proving me right so far. When I told him to start him, he had 2 touchdowns. When I said to sit him, he had a catch for 3 yards.
Oh,
But
start him.
no, this week, who they Baltimore? I don't know. Tough. I would probably. I'm starting him in the league, so I'd probably start him. But this week, I also added in tight ends. But this week, my start for quarterback is Russell Wilson, playing the Bears. He's just due for a good game. I'm sitting Kirk Cousins. I don't like him. I don't trust him. Running back, I'm starting David Montgomery. Seattle does not have a good rushing defense, and Montgomery's a good running back. Despite the Bears not being good, I think he can get a touchdown or two this week. I'm sitting Josh Jacobs. They're playing Denver. Um, Denver's got a good defense. I don't know. He's very touchdown dependent. Like he's not a running back that catches a lot of balls or anything. So I'd sit him. I'd start DK Metcalf. Kind of goes right in line with Russell Wilson. I think he has 8 touchdowns on the year, but he hasn't scored a touchdown in like 6 or 7 weeks. And I think he's due. He is in a good spot against the Bears. I think he's gonna go off this week. And as good as he's been, I'd sit Hunter Renfrow. Same reason I told you to sit Jamar Chase last week. Pat Surtain is a stud corner. They have a very good secondary in Denver. It's 100% the strength of that team. So he still could get his. Hunter Renfrow's kind of like a poor man's Cooper Kupp. Gets you a lot of catches, but I just don't trust him against Denver. And then the tight ends, I'd start Goddard against the Giants. Last 2 games for Goddard, he's gone off. He's Jalen Hurts' number 1 guy, and I think Devontae Smith went down yesterday. So definitely start him, and I'd sit Dalton Schultz. Blew up last week, but now that the Cowboys are healthy, Dak's got so many options. He's very like you got to pray Dak just throw him a touchdown, kind of like he did last week. So those are my starts and sits for the week.
All right, so go with the starts. QB, I have Carson Wentz. I think he's gonna have a good game against Arizona. Gonna have to throw the ball a lot. And he's been hot lately, so I'm gonna stick with Carson Wentz. Wide receiver, I kind of did like a wide receiver flex thing. Um, I did Gronk. I think he's gonna have a really good game. I'd start Gronk. Because if you got Evans is out, Godwin. Well, if he's out, Godwin's out, Fournette's out. You're having AB back. He hasn't played in 3 games, so I don't know if he, might have a little rust to him. I don't know, but I think they're gonna try to force the ball to Gronk. And running back here, I'm going. This is obviously for fantasy, but I'm going with Cordell Patterson against Detroit. Kind of been quiet, but he's been having a really like underrated year, Cordell Patterson. So I think he's gonna have a good game against Detroit. Um, Now sits for quarterback. I kind of went with 2, but if I had to choose, I'm gonna go Ryan Tannehill against San Fran. I don't see him having a good game. I also did choose Joe Burrow, even though I chose Cincinnati to beat the Ravens. I don't think Joe Burrow has that great of a game, but obviously it's one of those situations where if you have, if he's your best quarterback, Joe Burrow, got to start him. But if you have a better option, as in like a Matt Stafford or a Russell Wilson or something like that, definitely go with them. Wide receiver, I'm going with Deontay Johnson, Pittsburgh. I don't see him having a good game. He kind of shit the bed last week, like Anthony said. I see it doing 2 weeks in a row against Kansas City. Big Ben, it's just hard for me to trust Big Ben nowadays. And then running back, this is a tough one as well. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm either going with Damian Harris or that Stevenson guy from the Patriots. I think the Bills' main focus this week was to try to stop the run after what they did against them the last couple weeks they played. So I don't know. Harris was hurt, but I don't know if he's coming back. They also had that Bolden guy. If you have any running back from the Patriots, I wouldn't even start him, to be honest with you. Whoever it comes out to be. Oh, but that's my start and sits.
All right. Okay. So did we want to wrap? We could talk about the NFL awards. little discussion, and then wrap it up with our locks. You want to do that?
All right, by me.
I'm cool with that. It's fine.
All right, so the MVP race kind of opened up for the first time in a while with Brady getting shut out. So Rodgers is the favorite now. Then I think it's Brady, and then I think literally everyone's like plus 1,000 after that. So they're kind of just like the two.
I think Taylor's at like plus 700.
Okay. Yeah.
So
See,
he's kind of close, but
the
it's
thing,
tough.
the thing for me is like, as much as I would love to see Taylor win it, because I think he literally you take him off that team. I don't know if they have like even 4 wins this year. Look at Derrick Henry last year. Guy ran for 2,000 yards. He didn't win the MVP. I think he had a better year last year than Taylor's having this year. So I don't know. I would like I said, I'd love to see it, but it's MVP has just become a quarterback award. Even before last week, I would have had if I think Brady would have won it, but I think Rodgers should have won it. Brady's real argument for it is like he's leading the league in touchdowns and yards, but like he's also got like way more attempts. Not way more than everyone else. I think he's got like 50 on the guy in second. But he's got a lot more on Rodgers because Rodgers missed the game and he kind of sat out the second half of that very first game against the Saints. But like Rodgers is throwing like 4 picks, and like you look at like Mahomes and Stafford and Brady, and they've all thrown a bunch. And even though Rodgers has a lot less attempts, he's also thrown for a good amount of touchdowns. So Rodgers makes a lot of sense to me for MVP. I think Stafford should be number 3, and then I'd probably go Taylor, Mahomes. I saw a thing that too, but like he won't win, that TJ Watt should be in MVP discussions because he has like 17 and a half sacks and like leads the league in like forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. Like he's just going off this year. So I would love to see that, but like I said, it's become a quarterback award. It'll probably be Brady or Rodgers. And it'll kind of be like if Rodgers has a slip up before the game, it goes either way. If either quarterback kind of like slips up before this year ends, I don't think the other one's probably going to win it.
I feel like it also could come down to like if the Packers do secure number 1 seed with these next 2 games.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
does Rodgers
that could help as
play
well.
the 3rd game, or does he like?
Yeah, that's a thing too. Thing about Brady too is he plays a bunch of. I mean, I think the Panthers, because it's a division game, he plays them twice, could be closer, and then he plays the Jets. So like he has a good opportunity to kind of pad his stats. But we're gonna see what he's like without his weapons. The MVP, I'd go Rodgers right now. I think that's the easy choice.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, unless the dude gets hurt or something. I mean, obviously, I would.
You're already
I'd
hurt.
love.
I was
Yeah,
about
know.
to say it doesn't have a good toe right now.
I would love to see Taylor win it. I would love to, but it's just not how it goes, like Anthony said. So enough of that. I think Micah Parsons is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And
no doubt.
can't he win Rookie of the Year too?
He would be the first player to
Yes.
win.
I think he's favored for both.
He'd be the first player to win both since
Is he really?
Lawrence Taylor.
That dude is
Or Mack Jones.
unbelievable. Huh?
Favorite over
No, no. Rookie of the Year is slotted into offensive and defensive, so there's a reward for each. Defensive Player of the Year is actually T.J. Watt. He's the favorite right now. T.J. Watt's at 175. Parsons is at 300. Myles Garrett's at 400. Eric Donald at 800, and then kind of goes up. But like I said, I saw an argument for T.J. Watt to be MVP this year. I think he's the clear favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. You just look at his numbers, and like he hasn't even been healthy this year. Like he went out of the Vikings game. I think he missed a game this year as well because of either an injury or COVID. I can't remember. But he's been like no one really talks about him. He got snubbed last year when Donald won it over him.
Yeah.
He's been an animal this year, absolute beast. So he's definitely my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. Like I said, even though I love Parsons, but for me it's T.J. Watt.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue go both only because it is going to be T.J. Watt, but I mean, I could see where like people will probably be like, oh, well, T.J. Watt was hurt. most of the times. And I mean, like if he's still hurt and he's putting up these numbers, I mean, it's you know explains it all.
He's
But
incredible.
I don't know. It's going to be. I mean, what other awards are there? You got Rookie of the Year,
Offensive, defensive
MVP.
player, offensive, defensive rookie, and then MVP. Really, coach of the year, but
And
Urban Meyer.
NFL Comeback Player of the Year, Cam Newton.
I don't know who is that comeback. Who would be the comeback?
Dak Prescott's the favorite right now. Then it's
Yeah, that makes
Burrow.
sense.
I think Nick Bosa should be, but
Yeah, I think Dak probably wins that.
yeah,
it'll
he's
be
minus
Dak.
650. He's like the far and away favorite. For me, I mean, here we go. To go to offensive rookie of the year, Mack Jones is the minus 700 favorite, and I don't understand. Like, just because he's a quarterback and he's winning games, like, dude had a game where he threw the ball 3 times and they won. Like, can we like? He's gonna win this award. He shouldn't. I think I would have said Jamar Chase, but he kind of like after he kind of had that really good first half of the season, he kind of fell off a little. I think it should be Rashawn Slater, the tackle, the left. I think I can't remember if he's a left or right tackle on the Chargers. He's been unreal. Or the Chiefs center, Creed Humphreys, I think his name is. But offensive lineman is not gonna win this award. There's only 6 players on there. Mac Jones is minus 700, and then it's like Jamar Chase at 400. Waddle's then at 6,500. Javonte Williams is on there. Najee Harris is on there. Rashawn Slater is on there, but he's not going to win it. But my pick would definitely be Slater. But
I think it was before week 1. I don't know. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna throw some money on this. I threw like $5 on Najee Harris to win rookie of the year or offensive rookie of the year. Because I'm like, who knows? He might. I think he was pretty hyped. Like we'll see what happens.
he's been
Obviously.
good. I mean, he's had some
Not
duds,
gonna happen, but
No.
no, yeah.
It'll be Mac Jones, even though I don't think it should be.
I say we go into locks and upsets because I'm dying over here.
All right, we'll kind of get to that.
Wrap it up the next 5.
Wrap it up for Ryan.
NyQuil and
KO.
All right. So, locks of the week. Who wants to get it started?
I mean, I'll just go Packers spread. I kind of already said that earlier, but I'll continue with that one. I mean, I think they obviously should have covered it last week, but, someone had to go for a 2-point conversion at the end of the game.
So,
and not forcing the T.
So, Chad's lock is Packers minus 7.5. Ryan, you got one? Also, I gave Ryan a little shit for... So our locks of the week, mine was Falcons plus 8.5. They didn't cover. Chad's was Packers minus 5.5. Didn't cover. Ryan stepped out on a limb and took the Niners minus like 450 money line. So I gave him a little shit for that.
Yeah, you're playing. That's a lock of the week. You want.
Yeah, who's betting that though? Who's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna put $5 on a 400 odds bet to win $1?
Because they're putting $5 on it. They're putting $1,000. Who knows?
What are you putting on it?
$5?
Well, let's see. The way my
nothing. You didn't even bet it. You didn't bet it solo.
Where my checking account?
Yeah.
My checking.
Let's keep it below the 200 odds.
I think a lock of the week should be a spread of a game.
Whatever.
Or like you did week 1, you parlayed like 3 money lines. You had like plus 100 odds, something like that, but not a.
I turn to talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chargers.
I got the talking
10.
stick.
Chargers minus 10 lock of the week.
Okay, Chargers minus 10 lock of the week. My lock of the week is gonna be Colts plus 1. I like that a lot. I like Colts plus 1 a lot.
That's a good one.
Do you have one, Nico, or no?
I did, but Ryan took it.
Oh, my bad.
You can piggyback off them.
The Bills plus 2. Lock it.
Bills plus 2.
A good one, too.
Yep. All right. Those are our locks. All right. So now let's go to picking an underdog to win their game.
Yeah.
Last week I had. I know it hit. I can't remember who I had because I remember yours hit too, Chad.
Well,
you had the Bengals plus 2.5, right?
No, well, technically I had the Bears, but I said if the Texans and Bengals also win, that would cover.
Oh, okay.
I was 2 for 3 on that one.
Okay. I can't remember who I said. Oh, my backup lock of the week last week was the Saints minus 11 or plus 11. Doesn't count, but they did cover. I can't remember who my Underdog. Oh, it was the Steelers. +1. They did win. And
Yeah,
Ryan's was the
against
Bears,
Titans.
and they did not. All right. So underdog to win this week. I'm sticking with my lock of the week. Colts. Colts +1. I
Yeah,
think
I
they
had them
win.
down.
Yeah, Colts +1. I think that's my lock. Or not lock.
Hey.
Underdog to win. Lock of the week and underdog to win is the Colts for me. So really riding on the
Okay.
Colts this week.
I'll let you guys go.
Go ahead, Rye.
Well, I mean, it's not much of a shocker. Well, it is a shocker. Screw it. Detroit's gonna win against the Falcons.
I don't hate that. +6. I don't hate
Okay.
that.
Not the
Win.
spread. Money.
No,
line.
yeah.
They're gonna win.
Them to win. No, I know. I like that. You got one, Nico?
Ryan's just taking my picks. You know what? Anthony, you're not going to like this. I'm taking the Dolphins.
I don't blame you.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
I do not blame you.
They've been playing well, and the Saints
Yeah.
really not good. So
Yeah, I'm surprised. To be honest, I think the Saints are being overvalued because of that shutout. So I'm kind of surprised they're even the favorite.
It was just a big game for the Saints.
Yeah, and
Well-
it was on national television, so Vegas kind of knew, like, hey, people are going to be high on the Saints. So makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'm between the Titans and the Bills. I think I'd rather be safer on the Bills, but I'll just pick them both.
To win. Both
Okay,
win.
There you
Merry
go.
Christmas.
Merry
Parlay
Christmas.
action? Are you parlaying that?
Fuck it.
All right.
I wonder what those odds would be.
So that'll kind of wrap it up. This episode's going to be on Thursday. It'll be up instead of Friday. Little Christmas special. Recording on a
Plus
Wednesday.
450 for those odds.
Plus 450.
Not bad.
So still not up on Apple. There's something wrong with it. I got to figure it out. But we're on Spotify, on YouTube. It'll be up tomorrow, Thursday at noon Central Time. Wanted to give a big thanks to Nico for being our first ever
Yep.
guest.
Thank you.
Great job,
Special.
appreciate it.
of course. Some great insight on Cam Newton and the Panthers, much needed. So,
Non-biased.
all right, that'll wrap it up. We'll let Ryan get out of here, take his NyQuil.
Yeah, we're also not responsible for anyone's bets. We're just talking
Yeah.
as friends.
And
so,
all odds we got for me were off of DraftKings Sportsbook as well. So, hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and thank you for
Happy
listening.
holidays.
Yep.
Oops.
Bye.
Stay safe.